bags are made from wax canvas and leather. Look at this beautiful, beefy leather down here. They're designed to break in and look better after every trip. It's the kind of thing you find in your grandpa's closet. You know, maybe after he's gone, and it's just another way that grandpa helps you get into your own life. Backed by a lifetime warranty featuring all metal hardwares here, like even this sternum strap. Definitely a little tinkly. Featuring YKK zips and a luggage pass-through and a laptop pocket that for some reason, the teeth of this zipper never scrapes against my laptop. You ever had like a metal zipper backpack? And sometimes it's just like, never happens here. Perfect water bottle pockets without any stretch mesh or gussets or magnets. That ends up fitting my huge water bottle. Even these are like luxury pieces that you're not afraid to throw around a little bit. And then there's of course like my favorite thing, that it just stands up on its own. There's also a duffel with massive capacity shoe compartment, excellent leather, same materials with this wax canvas and leather on the bottom with these, like, look at these little nipples. Look at these little guys. Let's get into these things. We're gonna go through them, little nooks and crannies. But first, this episode is brought to you by Studio Neat, who make my favorite desk pads and pens. This is the Mark I pen. It's the last pen you're ever gonna need. There's no logos or branding or anything on this barrel. It is just pure, beautiful, slightly oversized, just, you wouldn't even call it oversized, just slightly oversized, with the best little solid all metal click. Please use my link in the description below. Lets them know where you come from. Listen, it's more than $20. It's less than $100, all right? And aren't your notes worth it? And then I wanna show you two kinds of notebooks that they have here, okay? This one is sticky pads, all right? And then this one is wire coil. Call that wire coil? You know the thing. Lays completely flat, both of them. I love this one. This is called the Pano book, all right? It's designed to fit between you and your laptop. I end up using it vertical like this because it's a really interesting shape of paper. You can get a lot of, just what you're writing with and what you're writing on. What if they change the kinds of things that you think about, right? If you have a fat, juicy whiteboard marker and a big old whiteboard, you're gonna have different thoughts than if that's like kind of like small or dry, or you just have a little bit. Changing the shape of what you're writing on, excellent quality paper, and then the thing you're actually using to write your note with. By the way, this thing is, like I said, sticky pads. So you can take this and place it, you know, stick it up on stuff. Shout out to Studio Neat, supporters of the channel. Please use my links below if you need a pen. Look no further, the Mark I. The Mark II splits in half, and then you can have this little pocket pen. It's kind of cool, but there's nothing like writing with this one. Okay, let's just go through what's going on here, all right? I don't know why this bag has been so satisfying to use. I mean, I have ideas. For a long time, I have said, my favorite kind of bag is that old school JanSport pouch right here, right? On a simple, look at this, just a big old throw zipper. Now, they're using these, you ever seen Riri zippers? This reminds me of a Riri fashion zipper, which are really nice, but these are YKK all metal tooth zippers, and then you have your little water protection is by flipping this lip over like that. This pocket, just pretty, just beautiful. Look at this inner material. We're gonna see this more on the inside of the bag. Feels great. I think it's gonna get dirty. This is one of the things that you're gonna probably, this is a bag you can commit to. You can just be into this bag for a long time. Wax canvas, leather, it's gonna patina, it's gonna get better over time. Inside here, the whiteness is probably gonna get dirty over time. Maybe you can scrub it out with some soapy sponge, a little vacuum, something like that. Just keep it as clean as you can, but at the same time, you don't buy a bag for how clean it is on the inside. And then look at this capacity on this thing, all right? Just bloop, bloop, bloop. Simple, characteristic. It's like a personality. Bloop, bloop. Pull your stuff out really easily. I just throw these 3 things into there. I have my Distill Union favorite wallet in the world. That's my bag wallet. I leave it in my bag. I have my external hard drive where all my edits happen and what I live on. And then I have my Anker GAN Prime charger, which has 3 USB-Cs, and I just have one thing. This is my phone charger. This is my computer charger, and it's smaller than the Apple. All of that just goes floink right in there. Just like, what? You mean you don't have a little spot for every dongle? What? You mean you don't have like a little meshy that you like throw everything in independently? What? You mean you don't take that extra time to just like put things in its right little spot? Not on this bag. And I gotta say, I'm about it. I love it. I typically will, even in a very technically organized bag, this is me, you travel and carry however you want to. I will throw those things into a little pouch that comes out with me on the table. With this, half the time I just have this on the table with me. For the most part, it's at my feet. I grab the 2 things that I need and I throw them on the table because this is where I'm plugging in my computer and all that stuff. Listen, I don't want to major on a minor here, but they didn't reinvent the wheel with this. It's just nice to use. This material, the amount of floof and give, but also sort of, do you see the shape of this, the design of it, the happiness of it? It feels right. It feels good. Straps here are leather with some organic feeling mesh right here, all right? And like I said, we've got some real like ding ding, click 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 kind of stuff going on with these, which there's no way to get these off. These stay on. I don't think I need my sternum strap on this, so I might fully actually like cut this, which I don't even know if you can. It's metal. We have to be really careful with a hacksaw because I don't want to injure this at all. I like the shape and the design of this webbing on top of the leather. Here's my simple shape. How's it look? Okay? How does it look on? It's nothing special by the shape and the like design of it, but it feels special to me. These leather straps. Okay, it's leather on the back and on the front with this webbing on the front. You don't have a mesh back panel. You're gonna get a little bit sweaty potentially. You do have a luggage pass-through. This is wax canvas, but it's a dry wax canvas. Your adjusters over here are very simple, but they don't get loose on me in use. They're easy to adjust when it's on. Can I just say again, one time this stands up on its own? Why? The laptop's in the back. How does it do that? Because the leather back here at the bottom, no feet or anything, just enough structure. And this piece is going to get better and better over time, and it feels good. This feels good. Full grain AF. You know what I'm saying? Right? This looks and feels super juicy. Then small-ish zipper pulls on all of these, which I don't love, but I don't mind because again, this is like those Riri fashion zippers. I got used to this on a few other leather bags that use. It just feels. It feels extra. It feels more. It feels like elegant. All right, here's the point that I'm gonna make about this bag. It is rustic, wax canvas, leather, beefy, leather handle. You're gonna love this leather handle. I would maybe want it to be a little bit, like a little less space right here, a little less floppage, right? Just make it come just off. But the reason why, these are the same brackets that they're using over here, basically. So we've got the consolidation and the kind of holism in the design. That leather feels good. This wax canvas feels good. Rustic, rustic. But there's something luxury about it. That leather actually is smooth and a little bit juicy. Same with this down here. These little zipper pulls, just a little bit luxury. And the metal zippers themselves, okay? Inside here, what do we got for capacity? Surprising capacity. How am I gonna show you this? Okay, see the zipper on the front? I tend to leave this open just because it goes all the way down. It goes all the way down. My hand's right down there. It goes all the way down, so it's a great place to just throw something big, potentially. This might be crazy. Just go with me here for a second, okay? I mean, looking at the size, I don't know. I don't think so. There's a spot that's better for, but like, maybe. I mean, certainly. Let's say you had some papers. I don't know what kind of papers you have, right? The other things I like about these is super thick cardboard on the outside, really protected. Say you had some papers. Just spitballing here. What if they were your business papers? Let's say you're flipping through here and you're like, yep, that's business. And so is that. Okay. Oh, some more business. Oh, some business to do here. Dog-ear that page. We'll come back to it, right? I need to take this with me where I'm going. Where am I going to put my business papers, man? Could just throw that right in there. Look at that. Oh, it's like it was purpose built for this panel book from Studio Neat. Get your business papers at the link below. Please use my link. Now, with bags like this, how am I going to show you this? With bags like this, you see the depth here? Oftentimes, bags like this, when your laptop's in the back of significant depth, you see this depth? Oftentimes, that can be a little bit of a challenge to get your laptop. Some bag companies will put a zipper on the back to just be able to access that segment. However, with this, I've never noticed any difficulty. You see that? See how this bonches right away? These are technical terms, bonches. We're bonching over here. This just goes right away. And then my laptop's coming right in and out. Nice little piping of a very thin leather here. Here's more of that white textured liner material. That feels really beautiful. It feels extremely elegant. You can see below a couple things going on here. First of all, Focal Bathis, the only headphones that I, well, I mean, if you can just spend the money and get them, they're the only headphones you're gonna use for a really long, I think for the rest of your life. I'll link to those below. And you see this little like, I don't know, what do you do here? This is maybe a perfect spot for your battery, your spare battery, man, right? I have one that I can't find. I don't know where it's at. I think my son took it. I know my son took it. That would fit right here. Why do I like that so much? So it's not bonching around inside of a pocket with bigger capacity. It's right up against the flatness of this laptop. And it's nice when you have this much capacity that you just have a bucket to throw your lunchbox or your whatever you're taking with you. The capacity on this is surprisingly large. Okay? It is plenty beefy. And yet when it was on, it never feels like it's huge. It's so nice to have. What do you call this? I would call this, I think they probably call it 20 liter, 24 liter. I think it probably feels like, in terms of what you could pack into it, 26 liters. And then you got a little keychain thing with some really metallic, metally sort of things. This is the kind of thing that I don't need at all. So I might get in here with my little snipper and pull this thing out, but I might just leave it because it's so spacious. I don't know. What do you want to do? This luggage card, by the way, it's designed for one of their tracker cards that fits inside of here. So it looks like it's just a regular luggage tag, but it actually has a tracker card here in the back so you know where it is at any time. Do you use those? Do you put those things in things? I like the tracker card over the Apple AirTag because it's thin. Nobody would know that it's in there, right? They just see this and they just feel like sort of the beefy leather and they wouldn't think that they're being tracked. You fucker, bring me back my bag. Little piece of detail here on this thing behind the laptop. You see this kind of, this sort of patinaing that's starting to happen here as I'm folding it and moving it around. You can see there's like a little bit of pet hair. I think this would attract a little bit of pet hair, but not like some of the others that we've seen before, like the Evergoods. There's some materials that are really grippy. They grip stuff. This isn't gonna be super sleek like a polyester nylon flammable thing that stuff's just gonna slide right off of. It's way more heirloom heritage than that, and I like it. And you do have the leather on the bottom, which isn't gonna pick anything up. You can just wipe whatever off that you need to from there. I'm interested to see how these straps will break in over time. I've been using this for about 2 weeks. I don't see a lot of break-in edge yet. This is really durable, thick leather, but it's got like some pliability, and I think in the future we could do a little bit of a different setup with this and this. I'd like to see another place where it just feels double oaky. You know, it just feels like, hey, this is something we want you to think about. And same with this right here. Like, hey, here's who we are. There's an upgrade in the future on that, but probably not for a few years, because this is, and I can't believe that my water bottle fits inside of it. I knew my water bottle was not going to fit inside this. Your Nalgene probably fits in. Look at the size of this thing. This is from Bobber. I don't recommend it. It's just what I have. I had another one. I left it at a buddy's house. I'm going there tonight. I'll get it when I'm there. But look at this. This is classy everyday carry for a grown-up. Even though it's like old school book bag style. I dig it. All right, let's talk about this duffel bag. Now, traveling with a duffel, I like that we got this little, this is a nice little touch. You know, this is like classic dad bag kind of thing. This is the kind of duffel you find in your grandpa or your dad's closet that he hasn't used in forever, and you're like, duh. And you want it to be this. You want it to be wax canvas. You want the leather to feel, leatherful like this. You want the leather to be really leatherful, juicy, thick, real, not fake leather. So many of those bags that Dad had in his closet, you know, were just cheap. They had a fakeness to them. This is like a commitment to life. This is like a decision to do it, to meet life in some ways. If your dad had this in his closet, you gotta give some respect. If your dad has real, solid, wax canvas, this kind of thing in his closet, like, you're stoked. Write your dad a thank you card, even if he won't give you that bag yet. You know? Dad with this in his closet is like, hey, he might have a watch. He might have a watch that at some point comes to you that's like, thanks, Dad. See our little luggage pass through here. See this big, beefy piece of leather with these metal feet. Why the metal feet? Because as you're with a duffel like this, there's a strap. You can attach the strap to it. You're gonna go over the shoulder. But oftentimes when I'm traveling with a duffel, I find that the best way is this. And these are just about the size to be in here perfectly. Like, this is an ideal like camera setup. You would be surprised how much better it is to carry a duffel with just these straps than to have that big one going. When the long strap's on, this thing goes floppity-doppity, right? I've already got this on my back. This by hand, that's why the metal feet. Kick it across, you're in customs line, right? You just give it a kick. Other than that, it's a simple duffel with two exceptions, I would say. The materials themselves, which we've covered, and then this shoe compartment right here, okay, which has a collapsible little, like you've seen before. It just goes into the middle of the bag, right? You've got a bunch of stuff that you don't need to use at all, but you could also just keep your shoes in a separate little compartment. And you can see this it's not the same wax canvas that's on the outside, okay? It's kind of like the same, it's got a tighter weave than there, and it's not waxed. Easy to get your dirty shoes in and then keep all that dirt away from your other stuff. Or you can just collapse that against the bag and not use it at all. Here's your leather strap, all right, that comes with it. Nice, beefy quality. You like that? It has some metal clips at the end. By the way, they also sent their DOP kit, which is a little too beefy for me, for my, again, this is more to like dad travel type stuff. This is classier. I end up doing stuff super lightweight. When you're traveling with this, that's less of a concern, and it's nice to have a beefy, leather-bottomed kind of thing that you can throw into your bag. Comes with a little separator. Keep some stuff, gotta keep them separated. The only other things going on side of this is maximum capacity for carry-on. If you're doing Europe or something like that, Europe, you'll probably be fine, but some of Southeast Asia, don't pack it out too much, because you need to be able to squish this into whatever those little boxes are sometimes before they'll let you board. And then you have a couple little organization bits, just super simple over here with your detailed double oak essentials. These are, I believe, the first bag that this company has made. They've been doing lots of wallets. Very cool. I remember the first time I saw their little clip out wallet. You know, you've seen those before, a hard shell wallet that has like a little button that like the cards slip out of. Something about this one was more, extra, better. It just felt really good. So when they got in touch about what they call their travel bags, but this is like a favorite everyday carry bag for me now. I was like, yeah, let me see what you're working with. And I'm kind of blown away by it. Final point here is it's not necessarily, I'm like mixed on this. Is it hard to do this? It's not necessarily hard, but they just nailed it. The right materials with the patina, the beefy leather, the wax canvas, it just feels good. The metal zips, right? The liner material, it's just right. The things just feel right. The right shape and size, the right size water bottle pocket, the right feeling of putting your laptop in and stuff. And then this, what you're noticing is the capacity, huge capacity, nice to be able to segment your shoes away or your dirty clothes or something. And then this handle. This is a great, great handle. That is what I'd like to, like a little bit of a, like I love the leather up here. I just want it to feel something more double oaky. You guys should get in touch. Let's custom make something for version 2. If you like these bags, please use my links below. Let's do a ramble. I finished one of my notebooks. These are also from Studio Neat. This is their mini tote book mini, and I love it. Let's just go to something here. What is your negative image of your partner? Just name it and claim it. You don't have to do this to your partner. Like, I'm talking about a romantic partner, maybe a business partner, someone you're working on something with. But like, think about your romantic partner, if you have one. What is your negative image of them? Can you name it and claim it? It's not a lie that you feel that about them, but it's also not the truth. And naming it makes it a little bit pliable. And by the way, the note at the bottom here is, what's my negative image of myself? Can you name it and claim it? Because to name it is to make it is to pull it outside of yourself. Instead of it being a feeling, a knowing, a sense inside it, we're pulling it out. That makes it pliable, okay? Now we can work with it. Now you may not be able to share that with your partner. You might not have that kind of relationship. What's important is to pull it out of yourself, out of the feeling, knowing, unworded space within you. It makes it pliable. And to understand that it's not necessarily a lie, but it's not necessarily the truth either. And all of this applies to your negative conception of yourself, your negative image of yourself. My negative image of myself is that I am unclear. I'm not sure of what I'm doing in life, of what I want. I'm kind of going along to get along. I'm kind of, let's see what happens. I have that as a negative image of myself. And by saying it, it's this makes it pliable thing where I'm not coming, you fucking son of a bitch, you stupid idiot. It's like, okay, there's some humbleness in it. There's some humility that allows that to not be so convicting that I get paralyzed. And I'm saying that in your relationship, or maybe your relationship with yourself, that can be valuable to pull it out of that judgment, critical, unworded space, pull it out and make it a thing in the conversation here a little bit. Try it out. Own your criticisms. Own your negativity. There's another thing about me. I'm critical. I can be negative. I can be rude and cruel. Can you speak it about yourself and hold it? Tolerate it. Because I think that is where transformation comes from. Not by thinking a different thought, not by willpowering up and over and top-downing a shift. Maybe that's possible. I think I've done that maybe in the past. I don't know. But what I feel now at 42 is actually I got to step into the reality of it and own it. Buddha talked about bringing your demons, your tempters, your negative things about yourself to tea Invite it in for tea and sit with it. Have a little time with it. Take a little time with it. Let it take a little bit, give it a little space. That way we're not constantly reacting against it. And we might have a little bit of a moment to create a response and a life with it. This might be the most transformational idea in the entire world, you guys. That you don't just get better. That you actually make yourself comfortable with what's there. I wouldn't have been able to hear this at 20, not even at 30. But at 40, I'm a little bit like, okay, actually what the future looks like is coming to terms with what's there. And that doesn't mean I believe that negative image I have about my partner or my friend or myself. It doesn't mean I have to resist and pretend it's not there either. There's a middle ground. There's a third way. So what's your negative image of yourself or your partner? Ooh, can you speak it in the comments? That'd be nice. Or not. Keep it to yourself. Or just keep it secret and let it continue to drive your life subconsciously. Yeah, it's fine. Go either way. Both are favorites. All right. Use my links. Bye.